author and group that did this song. Anybody hold a guess? Who was the author? Pete Townsend. And the group was The Who. And of course that was the original theme song of CSI. The original CSI, that is. The pastor of Madison Avenue Baptist Church in New York City, Susan Sparks, says it this way. As human beings, we rarely ask ourselves this question. Who am I? Yet without this insight, we lose touch with who we are. We lose our legacy. It's like the theologian John Kinney said, if you don't know who you are, you act like who you ain't. Now, Susan is also a comedian. You know, comedian, pastor, they're all the same. Comedian, she goes on to say that her stepdaughter went on genealogy.com and constructed my family tree. I was so excited, as I had always fancied myself a Scottish princess with bloodlines tracing back to Robert the Bruce. In the end, however, it became apparent that I was nothing but a European mutt. Worse, the only historical figures to whom I was related were Elvis Presley and Bonnie and Clyde. I guess for self-awareness, she said, if nothing else, the clarification was important. At least now, when I have the urge to put on a sequin jumpsuit and rob a Citibank, I'll know why. And of course, the great Yogi Berra says, you got to be careful if you don't know where you're going because you might not get there. We really want to know who we are. One of the top internet searches year after year is still genealogy.com. Searching for our roots has become somewhat of an obsession. Who are we? How did we end up this way? Now, Moses, in the text, had to figure out who God was before he could figure out who he was, or at least what his purpose was. I love the text because it's packed of all kinds of humor. So Moses, preceding the text for today, has been given a mission that started back at the burning bush. God says, I will send you to free my people from the Egyptians. And Moses responds to God, who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt? And of course, God says, I'll be with you, Moses. Now, the text for today, Moses says to God, if, it's kind of like Moses hadn't quite come to a conclusion yet of whether he's going to buy into this freeing kind of thing. If I come to the Israelites and say to them, the God of your ancestors has sent me to you, and they ask me, what is his name? What shall I say to them? And God says to Moses, in my opinion, one of the most comical lines of all the Bible, one that God no doubt borrowed from Popeye. God says to Moses, I am who I am, or I am who I am. And God goes on. Thus you shall say to the Israelites, I am has sent me to you. Well, that sure clears things up for me. I don't know about you. I am what I am. I am what I am. Tell them I sent you, that I am sent you. Now, what in the world does that mean? First, I must say that the name I am just emphasizes once again the mystery of God. A short definition that God gives his name, I am that I am, is one that flies in the face of all logic. Or maybe not. Y, capital H, capital W, capital H. To interpret this, you got to treat the name as a verb derived from the root yata. Did you get that? Yata. Or I could say, I am because I am. It seems that the interpreter wants to stress the fullness of the mystery of God and purposely leaves this analysis open to a wide range of interpretations. So the story started with Moses saying, who am I to bring my people out of Egypt? And now God is saying to him, I am that I am. I am because I am. Is it possible that until we get lost in the mysteriousness of God, that we really don't have any answers at all for the question, who am I? Yahweh. A breathy sound. It's almost like God is breath. Or as the old worship song used to say, this is the air I breathe. This guttural, breathy sound, which they ended up adding to it and said, Yahweh. That's the best they could do. But breath. God is as near to us as our breath and as mysterious as our breath. Now, even more humor, as if that's not enough. It says that Moses finally did tell the Israelites what God told him to tell them. You know, about freedom. And it says that Moses told this to the Israelites, but they would not listen to Moses. His own people would not listen to him. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, go and tell the Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to let the Israelites go. But Moses took the Lord aside and said, the Israelites have not listened to me. How then shall Pharaoh listen to me? And then he throws in, poor speaker that I am. Moses just won't give it up, will he? He started with, who am I? Then, who shall I tell them that sent me? What is your name? If they ask, I am what I am sent me. And now my own folks don't even listen to me. How can I expect the Egyptians to? And of course, I'm just not a good public speaker, God. I don't know about you, but Moses, my man Moses, comes across here as a real person. Man, we change these Bible characters into superstars or something, but this guy is real. The doubts and fears he's struggling with, even his lack of public speaking skills. Of course, we all know that God gives Moses his brother Aaron to be his mouthpiece, so to speak. God might be mysterious, but God always comes through in the end, so to speak. So who are you? Who am I? Who? Who am I? Maybe we are God's children. Mysterious, yes, we are too. And yet we find our purpose in this mysterious God. This God that describes his name as a verb, I am because I am. Roots, genealogy. We find our meaning, our purpose, our equipping in the I am God. And we come to the table of the Lord today, this mysterious table, a mystery that reminds us that as Jesus was broken and poured out for us, that we are to be broken and poured out for the world. And God is still in the business of giving us errands to walk with us. So free us, O God, at the table today. Free us as you freed the Israelites. And remind us to keep seeking the mystery of the God that's named I am what I am. Or as Popeye said, I am what I am. More questions today than answers. So keep asking, as Moses asked, who am I? And keep seeking the mysterious presence of a God that says, I am what I am for you, for your world. Amen and amen.